You know, we actually ended up doing a little bit more than what we had set out to do. We killed off the entire property, 125, 120 acres. Really took everything down to dirt and redid everything. All new greens, all new infrastructure in greens, all new irrigation, really replaced all the drainage on the golf course as well. Redid a major drainage way through the golf course. Ended up moving over 30,000 cubic yards of dirt. And sodded 120 acres worth of Bermuda grass, seeded 25 greens, about 3.5 acres of greens, and really finished all that within 5-6 months. Obviously redoing an entire green down to the base and redoing the shell of the green and drainage and gravel layer, and then on top of the gravel layer, hydronics tubing, anywhere from 12,000 to 20,000 linear feet of hydronics tubing in each green, and then our sand mix or greens mix on top of that, and shaped out and seeded and ready to go. Deciding to keep bentgrass greens in Texas, really what the club, Mr. Leonard founded the club on, was to have bentgrass greens and bring bentgrass greens to Texas. So it's an important part of our history, to make sure to give our membership a better and more consistent playing surface. Wanted to make sure we were putting in the infrastructure and using the tools that were out there, and hydronics, successful up in Tulsa, and some other guys were putting it in, and the ability to keep the soil in the 60s and 70s throughout a hot summer when you're easily in the hundreds more often than not, it seems like, just gives you that added edge and helps you get through a tough summer and then transition into the fall, which the spring and the fall here are some of the best golfing months we have. So trying to reduce the recovery going into the fall on greens is a significant impact to allowing the membership to enjoy as much golf as they can in some of the better weather that we have here. Went with new grass variety 007XL. Extremely impressed with that grass. It just continues to surprise me, just with the mowing heights we're maintaining, the cultural practices that we're able to do on it a little bit later, a little bit earlier than you would expect from certain bents. But overall, it's been a dense, tight putting surface. Don't have to do a whole lot to get the speeds. Handful of products, Insignia, Maxtima were big ones, along with some other products for initial grow-in, take-all, Pythium, putting down the amount of water we needed to during the grow-in on greens, and then Maxtima on our Bermuda surfaces for spring dead spot going into the winter. And really just overall plant health is always able to rely on those products, and they're some heavy hitters in the program. I wouldn't wish this size of a project in that time frame on anybody, but felt like we put in enough time on the front end for planning and put together a really strong team with LeBar Construction and Heritage Links and Mike Kuhn on the irrigation side, and then Caveman Construction, Josh McFadden kind of leading that side for Gil and Jim's group. Couldn't have asked for a better team. Oscar and Eddie and Josh and I, here on a daily basis and coordinating and making sure everyone was doing what we needed to do to keep the project moving. And with everything, you need a little bit of luck, and we were very fortunate to have good weather throughout the construction. Although it was one of the hotter summers in Fort Worth history, it was dry. Makes it a little bit easier. I think overall it was a success, but it was a lot of things had to go right to finish a project of that magnitude in the time frame and be ready for a tour event. I think putting together a quality team was probably our biggest key to success in the whole project. Shockingly, I would say the one thing that surprised me was how smooth it went during the construction phase. You're always expecting something to pop up or something to happen, and not that there weren't things that didn't pop up, but there weren't any major issues that created significant delays. Planning for the worst, you always think something's coming along those lines, and it just never did. But we were very fortunate. the membership is ecstatic about the new golf course. I think it's really aesthetically and the playability of the golf course is significantly improved, and I think it's exceeded everybody's expectations. It's fun to maintain a golf course that people enjoy coming out and playing on a daily basis, and that are excited to be out and playing. So it does a lot for our staff and the morale of our staff to continue to set up a golf course for a membership that loves playing it. So no, couldn't have asked for anything better.